Assalamu alaikum. Fikuring ilav gap sort of kagon me the badokoli and a kavis Yameen Rasheed like Mifar aun Yameen like badokoli kutaka Tafat continuation segment taketa and produce Kurumuge and Umeduga. What we are going to actually do is Yamin has this blog called The Daily Panic, and Yamin does a weekly roundup. Hafta hingi muhim mo kankama ekala chita. So what we thought was we would actually have a little talk about kome hafta guessing after by muhim mo kankama medu kudako waga dakka. But before we start, I think Yamin can explain a little bit about why we started doing the weekly roundup and what the Daily Panic is.
Yeah, so when you say the weekly roundup, I have to hingi kantata, it sounds very serious, but it's actually not very serious. It's just me consuming the news like entertainment. Thing. I have this blog, The Daily Panic, and aslo miti vesu fedika ngagota mihar ma migeli agota iskudakota faatu kanne. I was actually
the tone of language, Tibune.
No, I've always had a somewhat informal language on my blog.
That was what was so good about your writing.
Thanks. But I mean, even the name, The Daily Panic, it sort of sounds like The Daily Planet, which comes from, comic books. Overall, if I had to sort of find some ideological basis for it, I think I'm sort of inspired by the fact it's like a daily show kahala the US, like you had Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert. Like what they do is they bring you the news, but they are not really news journalists. What they do is they break down the news into observations and point out the absurdity. Absurdity takun je khanta domi husmi mani rajya ka then eti de mara serious converse discuss kore vedan me economically hamanu je kama kenota financially makes no sense corruption. I mean, you could go into very serious discussions about it, but sometimes I think it just helps more to just sit back and point and laugh like this is so absurd, and then absurdity again is aslo million and then this week in Maldives Kiafa Mihada weekly roundup is also sort of started off aslo hagigata bunanya. I felt I call myself a writer and I wasn't writing much, so that komme hafta ekos komme sechelliam wegen aslo mi
okay. I get you.
Amil komme skala discipline ang enforce koram wegen mi itangere komme hafta ekos ten MLAZ komme kan kureveni Kiafa headline liafa daga behegotan komme sechellialani yada tiri. And even this idea, I was sort of inspired by somebody else. I really like technology. I follow tech news. Then there's this Microsoft Kawakura journalist called Paul Thurrott. He has this website called Thurrott.com.
Yeah.
Then he's exclusively focused on tech, but he does this short takes on the headlines sometimes. Then headlines and ridiculous stories that keep coming all the time, and that's again another reason why I chose the Daily Panic, because we never sit in peace.
No, I always wondered what was the motivation behind Nam Panic.
Yeah, so it's like we're always constantly restless and something is happening, and I really wanted to portray that in the name. I think I was discussing with Mage Kuriga, a colleague, and then one of us came up with the name. I don't remember which one was like the Panic, the Daily Panic. That sounds like a ridiculous but fun name.
It's like, also fun, yeah. then logo again and fish head and tuna head no.
And a tuna head that is also bead. There's a bead of sweat. It's like it's panicking.
Yes.
If you observe closely, you'll find that.
Yeah. It looks like a little red ear with a furto, but that's
comfort the hand but then me me website ka feva kana ka wasanane hama that bead of sweat sort of like a droplet. That was actually designed by a professional designer, a friend of mine.
Nicely.
Yeah, she's Bulla on Twitter and Facebook. She's very talented. She actually made it for me, so yeah. So that's what the blog is about, and they make a serious essays and stuff. Wesley, then initially me the create career hitangere me Rajek them besole bloggers ke content was making a portal the friend that I can link back to them. Then I come kandi mavi gotam hori ha me blog koram hottala he kisa bakanda
blood and blog drota ka bes diya do mere tere.
Basically everybody else moved to social media, then Facebook or blog. Even I mostly am active on Twitter, so the conversation has moved away from everybody used to be on Blogspot and WordPress, and that was how it used to be. I think it's social media mostly.
Social media move because you have better reach, and then that reach is quantifiable in numbers, analytics. The transition seemed natural. It was very cleverly done as far as the tech companies go. Because WordPress dominate
ekamako anettankoda the mihar social tweet of you don't remember what you tweeted 2 days ago, 1 day ago. I think there's room for both. Aslu, I feel like misalaka Yameen Rasheed. He is a writer. He mihar kurakamaki tede tere kun tweet kol faane da misalaka me and do have a good again to it. I am make a enamel again to it. But he has this platform to sort of expand on why he did certain things or why certain policies
explanations
explanations kahale and then directly Yameen.com kya site hai वैसे band this is something also a platform that he could communicate much more personally than he would through an official channel. That's the way I think of blogging, though. It's like, it's me, my page. I would write whatever I want on it. And
sell yourself, sell your ideas, and then, get people on board. Right now, he's having a hard time getting people on board.
Yeah, I suppose something like that. But Misaka, Daily Panic, like this week in Maldives, this series, I put the headline and then how do I think about it? What do I feel about it? I just write down, and then in this case I'm somewhat using a somewhat humorous tone. At the end of the day, this is me giving my thoughts on something that's happening around me. Though this is my page, I can say what I want. I'm not a journalist on traditional media. A freedom obviously it's okay. You also need to be a bit careful though. Sarukar magamel libero yakko libedo de million rufia ke varugada abureves but the eges maana kureveda like just criticizing somebody or just having fun about something doesn't necessarily mean I'm Kathilaying is aburudo, but Maldivians are a bit touchy about criticism.
And if this were a constructive criticism, and constructive criticism are just blatant criticism, differences by far on the comprehend the
then I think even though I sort of do this less serious commentary on the news, I feel more people should be doing this. I think they were by default for a sarcastic buyer. Coffee has a character is stuck sarcasm and sarcastic tones. But when you read your news and things, connect kureveda because it doesn't seem very honest. But that's not the thing that's on your head, in your mind. And most journalists don't go into the story and point out why this is wrong.
Monotone feel like a pre-package go for Guinness Denny.
Exactly. So you read something and ege man me nagane hem mulinge hengacha. Because the honest thoughts in your head are you're not reading it. You're reading misalaka I think I covered this in my roundup this week about Rice Yamin, a judicial colloquium makagos. He said misalaka he bank ole mozzafon mawmatali kurati kambodwe or something like that. Now the connotations are very obvious. It's funny because this is literally something that happened very recently. Qasim went to jail and everything for it. And when the Rice says that, everybody sort of, is like, me might be actually seriously considering about investors and their concerns. But the more direct message that enters your head is like something's not very good. That's the thought that enters your head, and that's sort of what I'm trying to get at, through my blog. That thing that you secretly feel inside your head or you're unable to put together into words. Just to see how it connects to people. And I don't say it just to be sure. I'm not saying Yamin is stealing something. I'm just saying that's what people think. And that thought that's in their head is sort of what I'm trying to explore or play around. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. I mean, it is. I also for connect to in the vidana and then you point it out and then I'm just like now it's so obvious.
Yeah, because I was talking to somebody just last night or the night before. Real one case ka. Me hum dive ko me 600 or something hours ke footage review ko war gira kanta takuri wa ka dami takkane running hande video footage bala fegati be me hum identify ko safely flown out of the country and like I mean kuri comment nete footage review kuruma is not a thing that we need to see the full context of it. But then these people also left the country safely, so there is you're missing the larger point. So sometimes I think
Asuki by him when Misala Katim Bunimas investigation at Chig then Ekala Kutikudi Matimati about this and Misala Katiman footage by Laffy America Ekamaka Harman Komedoke but even na Paruna Filum Takuna series Takuna Henanda Kankura Bafene. So where's the details?
That's what I'm trying to say is proper journalism works when you take a somewhat combative stance to the government or whoever is speaking. In a check report kurumaga badalo ege hagigen hoda fanuata ege flaws tang identify of a point out kurashe. And that's doing more justice to the reader than just reporting what Rice Yamin or Rice Rasheed said. And that's sort of what I'm trying to achieve through my blog.
Is it like people are these journalists are conditioned to him this is just editorial and they're just 18-year-old 19-year-old content writers hired to spew out words on a piece of paper and then it just sells the packaged message.
I am glad you brought it up because I also covered this in my review. Because Rice Mamoon actually made a statement saying he's calling for free media and investigation into real one case. Mihar me te haru yafurani the mihar and alami dakkani real one case wahaka. A free media, and then all the media reported this. I mean, Coach Rice Mamoon mihem vidal with Jeda, but this is Mamoon we are talking about. There was no blossoming free media under him. He's the one who put Rasheed in jail. He's the one who's put businesses, newspapers out of business. Free media, how absurd is that?
It is. And I love how you said it. Gary Oldman, character actor, different.
Yeah, Tengene sakal kuring dictator kang hore fasa kulliya ka rajya go fedon democracy movement. Tengene eti kam gosken kulliya ka amille father of democracy vegen besolon dos kolaka. Like how does one transition from this to that? And then anikkollo me bunani free media rilvane bunne maslu vara mudagosvi, because this is something we had publicly appealed for help from politicians. Eyam horiya duha ko zamar duha kasno takkami wahak. Eka mihar Rais Yameen message higen just to lay pressure on the government. He uses this, and that is not an honest expression of anything. But I was trying to call out that
he's getting away with that. I mean, those transitions, me one narrative, but he's getting away with that. How is that possible?
Because he's not challenged. And then I also mentioned in my weekly roundup, I said that he created an entire generation of slimy, disgusting PR agents. And those are the people who call themselves senior journalists these days. They may be senior journalists or editors ke gotoga. And they think of their role, they think of journalism as being reporting or repeating tantanu release kora press releases or somebody's statement in a way that doesn't raise any controversy, doesn't upset the government. So then
ඉදාරතවගේ ප්‍රෙස් ඔෆි හොන්න ඕනේ හවාලේ හොන්න secretary and press secretary and frame kura narration and komme farakum wikkani wikki
then misalaka mega newspaper, instead of calling themselves a newspaper, hama blog create kof ek accounts tak defa emihun lava update kura me maitangara inda sakara sofi login defa me komme me diragam login defa, and they can update their own press releases. You don't need a media station to do that for them.
No, so erungan huriha office ta kon upload kura single government news portal ekala icheddo ennane
edo mihare swagotaki agi gotaga ama ekkala me press conference go sama dakka ke ingotanga asliefanu ata share kura email un elibe leaflet ingota me type kolla publish tame kurani. Like, we don't need to know. That is not the story, Amitaga. Like, why did nobody ask Maumon? Why did you not think of this? Kurin Tirisa are very
comparative. You know, where was the free media? Aneka tingaharuge was me furtama deharu wahakandu dekki kiwe.
Exactly. Now it's for 857, 58 days. Why did you not speak up about it before?
It then feels like a manipulation of public sentiment. Now he is pushed into a corner, and what he is trying to do is get people already engaged and concerned about Rilwan. So he is trying to inject himself into that somehow and then make himself feel relevant. Masha feel bani kundiye.
Masha gaiti boda picture kurani hamada sarukar dekola mene berna koravenga huriyatiyare berna koran, and Rilwan is sort of one issue that people are concerned about. So he'll jump on the right side of that and keep Yameen on the wrong side of it, and that would work in his favor. But I mean, politicians transition from one viewpoint to the other and so on. I find it very absurd. When Maumon talks about democracy and free speech and I don't know what else will he talk about, then the kind of decentralization ka waha karne ka hisab.
Might as well ane hamakolla dakka wakata. I'm on board with all the talking points
do mi haru se bunave which I find, this is like the reason I criticize traditional media. I mean, it's a challenge makurati. Well, but Maumon, I can give you this. She's very, very charismatic.
Oh, he is.
When I listen to his press conferences and everything, I am actually energized. He gives me hope, even though I know he's a bloody dictator. I contrast it with misalaka Jamil London ga horegan MUO and announce kuritu. Etanam every foreign media and kori sualaka jawab ette kanne gono eneka. Ekane kol Maumon maalega horegan me ekkala ppm me defection hedon duaskol he gave a press conference bes me kate ma bes bahen no buna ara rete ko ppm of hedon me kanta ka hediye me මෙහාර කන්තත දන්නේ මෙහෙන්න නිකන් හල්ල කරන් තිබුණ කරම වේඩනේ මෙහෙණ කන්තතක දැන් ඉස්ලාහි එජෙන්ඩා එකේ මේ coach එක advisory committee
is very good with that Islahi agenda framing.
Exactly, the Mago Charter like, and he doesn't even have power. And like, I got a bit of this member, I was listening to it, and he gave me hope. And I was like thinking, MUO could use this guy though, or somebody like him. Even though I don't trust him, I believe every word he says. I don't know how that works. Yeah, that's something but that is good.
He's milking it for whatever it's worth. I mean, at his age, he's still milking that.
No, I always thought of him as the only intelligent man left in PPM though. And then his faction
you're probably right.
No, the truly intelligent political character in PPM is Mamun. Then Ned, Miharu Yameen, or like they don't operate on that same level. Like intellectual capacity, they're on completely different wavelengths. Yamin, I don't think.
But it's not that Yamin is any less intelligent.
No, Yamin is smart. He doesn't. They play different games. Mamun cares about his legacy a lot. That's what I feel.
Hence the book and everything. He's already set in a view and go Tauria Chikuri Dagabil Ratisakai Koshide.
Mamun Wagatek, I think he sort of believes his own bullshit at some level, though, that he thinks he's genuinely a benevolent father figure for the nation.
I mean, it's perfectly okay to drink your own Kool-Aid. He looks like he's been doing it.
No, but the thing is, he is smart and he knows he is smart, and he probably figures, I might as well fix this place the way I want it. And I think that's what he did for quite a long time. He tried to build the nation into his own image and controlled everything the way he wanted it. And in a way, that's what Singapore LKY also did. The thing is, LKY had more grand ambitions in terms of he cared about Singapore's development. I think this guy was more concerned about his own image. Yeah, so those.
We come back to that. Okay, continue.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much all I had to say. That when Mamun says something like free media or find Moyami, that bothers me, and it bothers me even more that he created this whole generation of journalists who in turn, trained under them, these people who do not challenge authority or this public figures. It's like, but nobody did that. They
it's
just
almost
reported.
Me, visualize one meme like people laughing, pointing.
Exactly. Then because Donald Trump exists, and I was nobody respects women more than I do.
Even during the blacks, the women. I respect the blacks, the least educated, poorly educated.
We were actually planning to go through my blog. Conversation.
But we covered two.
Have a conversation. Naturally asking. I don't know Aslu gender minister Zenisha. I have never actually followed any story of hers. I was on Twitter and gender account on tweet video of her giving a message on, I think, the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. And that was so cool. She gave it out in sign language. And I thought that was thoughtful, like uncharacteristically thoughtful of Misarka. I remember this is the same guy who said, not the same regime who made fun of autistic.
O-level and nobody likes a nerd. So that's the type of rhetoric we've expected.
but something equally ridiculous and insensitive and hile yang hanun kiapes commis joke. So his sense of humor is a bit twisted and out of touch, like the rest of him. But yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I heard of it, but I didn't get to go into it. But he's definitely out of touch. A point I agree. People can't relate to him though.
I don't think he cares to be related to. If you think about it, me very common almost then until Adib Jalal Landem was Adib was the sort of face of the government. People don't seem to remember that. Me had the Bagamachane Comedja billboard that me Fedane was Yamen photo Jahafa, but Furuta Maharekwan ordinary guy got Singapore. I mean, he wasn't really in town or never held a cabinet meeting or. Adikiriya can ask very common asking you.
He no longer has Adib at his disposal. Maybe that's.
Yeah, but then. And Adib very common how of task according to popular rumors. I don't know. I have no idea.
I also don't know how much truth there is in that. He really can't be playing task with Hagadi, but he has to do some running of the country at some point.
Then, far as we knew, there was no cabinet meeting, so anything that he attended. So maybe he was genuinely disinterested. I mean, Aslo Mihar Rasheed was very common. I think he did a lot of image building because earlier he was seen as a street activist and so on. And then for yeah, no, I mean he's got like a silver tongue and very good ways of communicating.
He did very well, and then all the gymnastics jumping around boat, laughing, it did all that very nicely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the guy. I must say that. Still, but I could see how his PR machine was so active, and I mean, the reasons I like him are very different from the reason many other people like him. But still,
I'm just disappointed in him. I don't admire him any less, but I'm just disappointed in how everything's turned out.
I'm not so sure I would be that quick to judge Inge because I mean I saw your talk with Vel and I mean she does have like the legal facts are definitely on her side. This happened constitution khilaf with the judiciary me and I think she framed it very well. She said Gazi na kamilya ka kota ka gus no vadavene da komis ba me ayo kuri metana vadavene. And that is the JSC, and that blame lies with Majlis and so on. And then everybody knows about me deal Hadagan Kurikamek Kamimi. But at the same time, and I think Vel sort of portrayed Nasheed as sort of like a easily played with me. Easily manipulated person. But I think Nasheed is. I agree with Vel on this that he compromises. I think he just. I don't think he does it out of a selfish reason to sort of do something. I think he just figures, okay, given these current conditions, this is probably what will work at this stage so that I can get there. But of course, those things have consequences. The consequences can face me, and for that he should take responsibility. I don't agree with the characterization that it's a bagave, but it could be a bagave based on the mere facts. But intention of if you accuse somebody of a crime, there are two components.
You mean the intention silent bagave?
Yeah, that's what she said. And it is a bagave, but again, I'm just trying to dissociate the intention from the action. The actions were definitely committed, but I think, I mean, my understanding of the way Nasheed thinks about it is just, given these circumstances, and I think I read, I'm not sure if it was you, Miss Mihen, on Twitter about how Nasheed should have taken action against Gayoom.
I say that, but maybe you might be referring to someone else who said it.
Yeah, but again, if you think about the actual facts on the ground, Nasheed got what 20 something percent of the vote in the initial round. He came as this coalition of people with mixed ideologies. And he's come into power after 30 years of somebody else controlling the armed forces. And Huriha Aslu, instruments of power, judiciary, Huriha Changadiyati outside of his control. I don't think he was in a stage where he could act against Qayyum. In that case, the Bagawe would have happened in 2009, the November. That's how I feel about it, or 2008. But that's what I'm saying. It's easy to sort of look at it in hindsight and say he should have done this, he should have done that. But the reality at that time was probably a lot different than most of us remember. Do you not agree with that?
No, and I mean, I think there's a lot of merit to that analysis.
Because Handamweta, like, remember back in 2009, 8, you could not criticize Adalat Party. That was not a thing you could do. You might remember you and I and Rilwan, we went around Male with a petition for her. Adalat Party could me siyasi magamag gatibega Ministry of Islamic Affairs gatibega ehem mi hon aladini goa. That is not acceptable. Ekam hutto deshe Nasheed kare. And remember how we would go about and hum Adalat Party kya start kora, people start shivering and they go pale and
like we were attacking religion no ne kahala
Islam deen adda me board attack me Adalat Party kya hawa ha dekh.
So at what point did Adalat Party become the religion itself?
Yeah, I never understood that. That's how I think some of us ended up with the Ladini tag in the beginning, because me DJ Majid, DJ Tap Manakur Hisab. I criticized it. I don't even and I don't even go to DJs. I don't even like parties. But the fact that somebody in government could just come out and say DJs tam manale because Islam din, and that's an abuse of position karne. That's what I was complaining about. Hisabong, like suddenly deen adda me attack me korevane hisabong. Even though deen is not what Adalat Party says it is. It is actually a very wide kike punane. I've come from a country with 100 and something million Muslims. They don't talk like that in the Maluka. India. So I mean, I grew up with lots of Muslim people, friends, and but this is not a thing that exists. This is like a Saudi narrative that is being pushed on Rajya. Then Adalat Party criticized and people were so upset, even the liberals and so like, how can you criticize Adalat Party?
Adalat Party MDP ngengulni was pedestal like a lag and kuda rus gang hat gang.
Yeah, and then Mage point Adalat Party is not a party that has won anything in any election at that point. Evis Majlis Kondi was a Kachavis Libuna by Rayatum. Me vote on Thai the party and maybe on a con kihining he magamangara me how can they be that powerful for a party that small and is not doesn't have a Viskahala popular mandate? People used to be so scared and upset and anxious when you even mentioned it.
Nimmal, I just had a thought.
Yeah, but me close to me 23 December me Islam din himayat korang niko handa that was just before the Bagawe. Post Bagawe magumatin fenna ko me ko fahari Imran and kachika kiyamata me duane, but these were like in less crude terms that we criticized ko Adalat Party kya hawa ka dekhi ma biro ke dos kolle best diya, that wasn't even just like 4 or 5 years ago. But me haro hamako me ko fenna bonako ay fahari Imran and kachika da me kiyane
mami teri mihen vedan do fahare misalaka Anni democracy masekket early days ga Kuram Fashir early 2000s Kuram Fashir it was ekala male gativi Gayyum government to masekke kuri eti goes ko frame kurashan because that threat was very real though then hisabong successfully they've executed this. Anni has this agenda of Ladini, and then Christian father in Takauri Havolantang Bade, David Harding Hum Tofiala Hunda, and then all this stuff.
Divenge Boogeyman the Christian.
A boogeyman created. So Anni had that thing hanging over his shoulder. So maybe he had to keep proving. Look, I've got the religious boys on my side. Look, there is no Christians here.
But ada kaete double reinforce dome kore vekkala meme hantal gengolu neema nevegotake adibes hama echke bunayra buran firihan koli emi ladini like even hypothetically, if that were true, that doesn't address the content of our argument right now. Ladini me govane or nota you're gay or whatever, that is irrelevant. But that's like an end of the topic. I say you're wrong and you say you're gay and then that's it. It's not. It is, I think, a way of shutting out arguments the project, and then Ladini a label. If you're stuck with it, then like fair game the hisabo
and because you humanize we that's the end. I said that last night in the other talk as well.
Yeah, I heard that. That was a very nice conversation. Yeah,
it went very well. I was so happy.
Yeah, it was actually very nice to see somebody that you don't normally hear talk in public suddenly get that platform and express some of our valid concerns. These are again things that you hear from your friends over the coffee table all the time. It's never been like a media sort of framed in this societal issue, not as a personal story. I think that difference makes it very powerful. And I really like the fact that she said her father was an imam, and I think her mother was a Quran teacher, and they were a liberal. And that's like I think a lot of brains would break at that.
but then see that was what was so interesting about it. I mean, Orthodox Muslim family really good values which is completely different from
I could surprise you by saying my dad also learned Islam and is sort of an Islamic scholar, but the thing is, I think, like she said, it's a liberal upbringing in the sense that you are taught to be responsible. Then sculpted into my like a replica.
So this comes back down to bad parenting, broken families.
Exactly, and I feel like I have been very lucky because my parents, they've sort of engaged that we have this sort of firewall around you. These things you don't. That if you do, you would really disappoint your parents. So you sort of avoid like no drugs, no drinking, don't stay out late at night beyond a certain time. I mean, if we did it, they wouldn't like come at with the belt or whatever, but you just like really disappoint them, and you don't want to avoid that. When I moved like college to Bangalore, and I was staying in a bar, in a literal bar. It was just very close to the college, and for like I stayed there whole semester. Not once did I think like bar ka excessively that nobody would know. It just didn't occur to me as something that there was no mystery to it in terms of I need to do this because I have been given a responsibility than just rules. But there are places in India where the Vehin have been banned from going to bars. Because you don't have a drinking culture, how to handle their alcohol.
Excessive Furtama is blind drunk fully.
I don't think it's even the alcohol that's doing it. It's just their mental imagination of how you should supposed to behave right now. So it's like
so minus the Tofi all the
then Raabo again, you can't act normal, though that would defeat the purpose of the Ra. I think I can't nege vaagotake. Then Raabo me jeheda ko mes me be an asshole.
In their mind.
Because I've seen people.
But then not everybody, though. Not everybody. Come on.
Not everybody.
Because people
I'm
are
just
different types of drunks. We've seen people different. There are happy drunks. There are loud drunks. There are angry drunks. You know.
I'm just talking about people who go to bars in the morning and noon and get into fights and then get banned
So
by nationality.
That particular group. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying everybody who drinks is.
No.
That's something also that somebody once said. Nasheed kining very kan kore wende Raabo eken hore very kan kore be Raabo eken ne to dunya ke hang to very kan kora ni to like your point is like dibe na ek just to me shut somebody up la dine Raabo ganjabo, like that's irrelevant, and even if it were true, it doesn't really validate your point. Raabo eken no Obama was more America hinga ni like it's.
That's invalid. Addiction fasting at some point you are this guy and that would just keep coming back, you know. Social circumstances addiction that's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's I find it funny that it used to annoy me at some level, but I found it amusing. Because like when I say something and somebody comes, me otherwise comments call the hello gay lord. Like grade 5 though, like what is this? And I think I forgot what he was talking about. Ekkada mewe sama mage article cover kori point එක කට්ටි හේපරක painting එක වහකම
we shouldn't miss that one though.
So
tell me your take on this. Give me your take on this.
Like I went to Katti Hipper. Like I couldn't stand it for very long. It was too loud and too hippie for me, hipster for me.
You're getting old, which
I am getting old. That's what I felt when I was like all these kids and they're so excited and energetic and loud, and in my mind I was like, I'm so old. Why can't I relate to any of this? But I still went to the rooms, and then there was this art gallery. I thought it was loud music play. Who plays loud music in an art gallery? I have no idea. But there were some quite nice pieces of art.
Yeah, and then you have a generation gap. I get what the kids are doing there. Obviously, you don't.
Yeah, I don't. And I admit, like, they are having fun. They were really having a good time. I could see why they would enjoy it. It's just that this was not my place, though. And I really felt that. Yeah. No, but I could totally get the energy. It was very good at Daga. And those kind of things are actually important.
It is very important. It just keeps that community going, and then the culture around it and all that. No?
Yeah. So.
And it's also a venue just to express yourself. Sometimes even went in though some of that poetry and all that was really and benefits about it because those ideas are shared and all that. So the value of it is actually. I'm going to disagree with you on that one and say, there is really value in that.
No. I didn't say there's no value in it. I said they were really enjoying it, and it was really good. It's just not for me personally because I don't know, I like silences more.
Okay.
But probably if I had been young, I probably might have enjoyed it more. The real reason I went there was I saw this video stream by Aisha Hassan Rashid. I think I even put that on my blog.
I would like to speak to her. She's such an interesting person.
She is very smart. Yeah, I also like. Because she read this poem out. It was like spoken word poetry. It was so nice. It actually brought a lump to my throat. I was like, that is so. I wanted to see more of those. I couldn't there, but I didn't see. There I saw some heavy music, and I do listen to heavy music.
I'll leave a link of maybe you could get this week in review, so it's there, so anybody can go and check it. Video.
So I have also added the Facebook link on my blog, so in that part of the story. But yeah, that was so good. That's what actually convinced me to go there in the first place. Then I thought we got the I think today there was some discussion on Twitter about Baya ko itatere about the gang hamanu jahan takang ufat takang follow hong as
It's all over the media, pretty much.
Yeah, they closed it. Them yar keri ke for Islam din ha jo jaha ko miss
Alif Lam Mim maka me
yeah.
was depicted in nudity kal ko mas ko te ke the alphabetical
Me
letters.
kadakka de ko miss adi boge fanboy da. One of the people I think had a red notice or something about him. Someone told me afterwards. So this guy
Not important.
Yeah, the person is not important, but the fact that somebody who defends, who's getting offended Islam dina me anna like, first of all, why do you assume it is mockery? Why can't it just be art? Why can't it just be an artist's expression of something? Now you might not understand it, you might not even agree with it, you might not find it beautiful, but so what? Though you're an adult, to deal with your feelings.
But that would mean that nuanced thinking about like orange hair, that might be tough for some people.
Like,
thinking nuance kura.
I think that's part of art, is to get you thinking, create some feelings inside you, but those feelings shouldn't be like death to whatever. That's like a sudden escalation from going through your normal day, and then it's like you want to murder somebody because
what of us
it's like this level of thinking at the me kive baena mege ehen mane negedane pa or like whatever like reason. I mean, you don't just jump to she's an enemy or he's an enemy of me. Like, no, try to understand, is this normal? Has this been done in history? Is this what art is about? Like, first of all, do you even know what art is?
Mind you, these are people who doesn't have engage art appreciate kura go to the level and comprehend Quran in education provide and people have been sort of, the minds have been corrupted with just sort of mentally control then we are expecting them to appreciate art.
No, I'm not blaming them for lacking the capacity to. I'm just saying that this is ideally how it should be.
Yeah. I get that point.
But like the fact that this one dude who is a Adibu fanboy, like, how can you not be offended about Islam then in that case? So a TV station I'm the boss of all the gangs. I think you might have seen in the Al Jazeera documentary. Like, see his text. At that point, you don't really get offended about Islam. But when somebody puts up a painting in a gallery, then I think that's sort of, I think of it as, honestly, moral cowardice. Because you don't want to take on an issue that would involve either hard work or some blowback or some risk. This is risk-free. Gallery painting you're not under any danger or risk. This is easy to it. You can sit back, and that is what I say. This is lazy criticism. Palestine case I mean, Palestinians, like, I am pro-sympathetic to Palestine, but they were in the Palestine issue close to the heart. Bangladesh is they mistreating. So clearly it is not about deen, it is about, I can do this easily, sitting in my home. I can support Palestine, but if we had to support Bangladesh, you need to go out on the streets and help them and do a lot of work. It's like, I think of it as cowardice, laziness. A approach on Visnali might make sense to me. This is why they pick on certain people and don't pick on certain other people. Now, what do you think?
No, I mean, the cowardice, I get, okay, that's a huge thing. This is happening by a lot of people, because when this stuff happens, Twitter goes and there's like a stream of this similar kind of tweets and everything, and the same thing happens comment section, other newspapers comment section. So there's a lot of people doing it. Is everybody ekala kawaden heyeno
Think about it, like things that are easily repeatable, easy to do, easy to get away with. These are things that you would normally do because internet is designed to make such things go viral. Misala ka bunanya like jaha for spread kora, there will be like hundreds of likes, but if you had to spend like $1, not so much. That difference is there. Like the action versus just superficial stuff. So I feel that has a very major thing. I think I had this argument. Media hafta mage blog post. I actually spoke about one of those people. He puts up mage Facebook post and calls me Murtad something.
I remember. Yeah.
Come small Arabic naman hagen. Horigozendo. I mean, I actually challenged him on it. I called him out. I actually went through his Facebook post all the way down. Emme faharakosne rajyega mehinga da wakkama corruption na because mihon gelluwaluma maraluma migen eppis wahakenno dakka ene
ruluma kudukudinna foshuma magumati miuna foshuma
exactly yeah horiha social issues do kollafa ene asa fennene mage Facebook post then as me bolo arabe na jaha hore mage Facebook post kiya hame na spread and expose karne ke jaha share koran and I called him out on that. I said you are a coward because you did hama ignored hori hach ke body you are very wrong.
I did see how the language they were smart, intelligent people who spoke perfect English and had a proper education.
Yeah, no, but again, that's what I'm saying. This is not about education. This is about convenience and cowardice. Misaka, if they were to go against the government or criticize something or try to fix society by doing something real, that would be a lot of hard work. They're just like, and I called them. I said, jihadism is a form of cowardice. Responsible democratic society resolve ko issues ta understand ko study ko research ko mi honna batta ko wahaka dakka mi communities ta gos dator ko mi kanta ta kurma ke ma udago kameke dan badinge fangos ko mi ko konna. So that is cowardice. That is the easy way out. Like they don't have the guts to actually do something that needs to be done, and that is not an easy process. It will take 10, 15, 20 years to get where we have to be, but it works. Instead, they're going out just being foot soldiers for somebody, and they think that they're doing something brave. It is not brave. And then Facebook Yameen Rasheed Facebook tweet spread and expose and this is not how I picture the prophet. Facebook the comment to that is not what I think of as a religion or Islam is. So I called him out and then and then after going back and forth, and I called out each one of them, and then somebody says, "What have you done?" Why haven't you challenged the regime? I don't think he knows me. I've been writing about this
the regime for a while though.
I said I even went to jail for this. Well, that doesn't absolve you. Then commented, delete, call left.
The whole thing disappeared.
Because I kept challenging. The whole thing disappeared, and then me secularist na debate korma ki haran ka metta ka ko message
secularism ge wahaga den hada no back on edo me frame korani why is that? Why is it's such a threat that emmeng hama wegen noni emmeng in a saying wegen emmeng and needs the matter wegen ulenya. Why does it challenge me gada ko and religious narrative genda me home? Why is it such an offense?
Well, I think traditionally mind control the bedan kori achadara jega hama maamon was Nasheed ka sarukar gadan adalat party ega fahum was Islam dine gaw mein kya ganda bagawat baskena. So in my understanding, my analysis of Rajya history, me never has the state used deen for a positive purpose. It just hasn't been. About this sama me hum ekkala suppress koggen me biradak tagen genguleng me rajya me miskitta ko basically they control this narrative and it
But
is controlled by the state.
isn't that why secularism is so important? Because very come go befula gabu kureve go that the emming ulemi jehani ekamagi. Then I keep coming back to this thing. Hadya the sect Islam tere gonneru eki gotang harambanu ma hen kankama kudi faragumi hunnani. Unneru one guy is trying to say, look, kayavanti kuraga kamakunude, makurago to shake ankuran, and then it will come a coffee, yamaganga sky chili sauce la to believe bala. That makes no sense. And one.
But exactly, that's the thing.
It comes down to if you cannot be the Muslim you choose to be, if you can't have secularism.
No, I was actually, I was at this human rights conference. To give their perspective on freedom and in Islam. And both of them agreed on this one point. All of the sons of Adam, that's the exact thing on the slide he showed, had rights, inalienable rights given by God. Nobody can take them away. So I sort of challenged them. I said, then why can the Maldivian state take them away? Sarukaraka Viswaki Arana Ganavanata me God given rights. Like why doesn't, for instance, Rajyami and Nabidesi, why don't they have freedom of conscience? Because when we go to their countries, they don't confiscate our Quran and Musalla and
stuff.
They
don't. No. Like,
well, let them practice their religion. Why are we imposing our thing on them? Then
it's not like offensive.
Like the question is why. It is not that it should be. There's like the question is why.
Better understanding. Keep it to him.
Well, there are certain things in Islam that are definitive, and then there are certain things that are sort of subjective, like it can depends on circumstances and time and so on. And then these things there are debates from between sheikhs, between scholars, and that doesn't mean one or the other is right. Then maybe like he doesn't believe that should be the case. He thinks rather allowance should be given to non-Muslims as well. It is like the proper way of the Islamic way of doing things. He thinks everybody should have freedom of conscience and everything. Then as the solution to that he proposed was to limit freedom of speech. Then what do you call that, preaching license there is the level of certificate only one set of them can give a fatwa and the other set cannot. And this is saying because he is more liberal than the rest of them. And then Mina certificate bahanya Mina de Mina Hingama Jehe for instance. Like to this sheikh and the other sheikh have this certificate. So I asked, like, wouldn't the answer be to allow everybody to express their views freely without any fear? You don't need to be.
Because they don't think for the Amil Heor Fera Mekanda Ganon Tang just to that that your term acquire that enemy had then just mean a machangama etikame.
Exactly. Get best understanding because I don't think everybody who is Misaka on the far right are evil. It's just that that's how they've been taught. And we get physical newspapers. We have the Hindu and the Indian Express. Editorial page perspectives. So like right winger will say something and the liberal will say something. The newspaper itself will have some stand on some issue. So the more you read it over several years, that there are multiple ways of looking at the same issue. Sometimes these people have merit, sometimes both of them have merits. Sometimes you get really confused because both of them sound equally valid. And we will never moderate ourselves if we only listen to or view one narrative. As the social media Para fasihin ikkala ado habed nung choja block kolla anaka unfollow kolla. So you end up only listening to people you agree with or people
Plus,
you know.
Facebook algorithm message generate Quranios. The more you engage with the content that you like, then the other content just gets pushed out, and then they never surface.
Exactly, and
Then you're
Facebook
inside that
madihara nulafaka
bubble.
kurana. Facebook on kuraka maki by content surface no kurana. Misala ka mami follow kurane muje. Muje ka hori ha post kom hai masha kanas fan even though I am following you. Facebook will decide muje ka kom post ta masha takkam be. You might find that you
Keywords work. When you like one of my posts, and then what are the keywords that is, the algorithm identifies, then it may take that information and then use, okay, hang instance like career, where's the common thing, and then filter it out. But now what it's trying to do is, this is how they are monetizing. Though they want to now I know the mage uriha post and then it will keep popping up the me $5 me I can show you where me he asked me, Hona, can you give me that $5?
Yeah, I actually tried that. Ekkala me Trump hold faham. Mara mikama visne me filter bubble ga me hungule te. Me visnali tangere. Like a lot of people read it. Kama ko apa just me post share kono ata organically me dani hama same crowd of people. Actually, sort of the names begin to sound familiar. Then if this goten at the academy barrier break kurana me eheng by ka mage content to dakkana te eheng me content mabalam bernam bes hama if this kotaka hoda ga nancha hage no nenu fennane me this is whole sea of people out there and I can't see them. I can't. Then a frustration I actually felt. Then it just occurred to me that I can actually $5 boost a post and I did this and it was quite surprising. You'll be shocked if you try this.
Oh, I have tried it. I'm regularly marketing and then pushing stuff. I know how the system works.
But like the difference I saw was not just in the reach. People were suddenly discovering this content for the first time ever. It's like this made my day. Comments like, and these people would never have seen it had I not wasted $5.
But that's Facebook's monetization for you.
Yeah, but then it bothers me that even if somebody shared it, they wouldn't have seen it because maybe it is not organically spread totally. Facebook, Twitter, at least everything you tweet will appear on my feed. Facebook,
Facebook is sort of, they've changed the algorithm on the newsfeed a few times in the last 10 odd years, and they should go back and maybe that never-ending feed because we end up liking over the course of maybe 10 years there are thousands and thousands of pages. Then we later on realize we don't like it even, but then to go back and unlike all that stuff and nobody does that. No.
Exactly.
And they have fureni do feed ehme curate kurani manage kuragotaka. But then in that opportunity they realize, okay, monetization chances and then they come up with the narrative me friends are locals and a community guluwa them again a news feed prioritize me kurani them pages taka marketing kankama you can go and look at it, and if they want to push it then they'll monetize it. And then push that's the business model. They did very well. Quarterly
but it also does so much. It does so much social harm because even in this the secularism versus dini debate, the theocracy most of the people they end up falling into one camp or the other. The conversation doesn't really happen between these groups. There is no debate on merits. If you listen to like a extreme secularist things like religion is evil, it is going to destroy everything. Well, technically religion has been around for thousands of years and we have turned out mostly fine. And secularist I don't even know like to enter that mindset, but they're trying to basically steal your agida from you, and I don't know. But a biri koddobe dakkade dekolo. Same avagoteke. Like it actually widens the gap.
Where does the Agita go once it's stolen?
I have no idea. I actually put a post up there. There was this wasn't much of a discussion on Twitter, Facebook. The inflation has jumped up again. Things are going to be more expensive. I said, let me have a mago for you can't afford it anymore. But yeah, but these are actual issues that I don't know exist. Yeah, subsidy was cut korida.
Me adibote inge antiwagani muni madibote wahake I forget. Me are we at 1 hour 5 minutes inge so yeah we I are under 1 hour baba megen visne me hom diyatammi.
I was actually going to say that like even if we don't have food, though we have agita for we can survive because we are living. But yeah, these things exist, and I think we have actually inadvertently covered
me when we talked earlier about the silent coup part me adu ane kujja maha warabbodu message fonowa then ane bawer wa thank you for bringing all the story a better understanding no then ene boluga ene reparandu nuwegen olune echengena hani if the coup if velazini buna gotan ekan hingin ama inge annige motivation naki koba henuni what's the motive inge erum do meeti the rest fahumma nuni fase hey and that question so I put it out into Twitter and said look if anybody wants to chime in have any ideas but I thought that was a very interesting thing if Velzini get legal points of tereng then at the end of the day she's accusing Anni as a bagawa tekama vanya there has to be motive that we can identify what is it
like I said Corinne I feel like if you look at Rais Nasheed's record like right now he is in London with Jamil of all people then ege Corinne was I think eddoskole kanne gase makurania hottala shene American deshe kiya so I think he is one of the most willing to compromise to his own detriment level politicians kannenge
I mean he's demonstrated it a few times
yeah exactly and I was very against that Qasim move the scholar MDP me sara pawad the DM kofa ki kure Qasim mat me wagototi me henne da me kan kore amsle me no ane da Qasim laganti kame but the thing was Nasheed was willing to go to that extent to let Qasim lead this to let Jamil lead that to madama Yameen's
maybe his intention is that somehow we all of us need to work together differences resolve but that's coming from a too idealistic place that is not realistic maybe
but then idealism itself may survive in practice because even though like unless there's a major revolution or something which them are unlikely because of multiple factors me I'm a hurihatanagas me very compatible if a sustainable if after a period of instability with enemies coming together and so on so I think Rais Nasheed is somebody who does like political history and of things in the past and maybe that's the lesson he gets from it that mikan kureveni even though it's distasteful but one thing I don't think I can forgive is Adib and Jamil is somebody unacceptable Adib is like beyond the red line for me so that is like again that is my perspective on this maybe he has more information on why he did it certain way then ಬೇರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಬೇಕು ಹಾರಿ ಮಂಡ ದೆಕ್ಕೇನೆ ಮಿ ಕಾದ ಹಾಕದ
me ekamako misalaka this deal making this whole thing keeps coming back to making deals and deal me all politics I me tweeters all politics is compromise, though we are making a deal. We come back, we furtama table la mennane issues take identify koggen beenu echitake hodam wegen anne harna inge do bisaka anefara atume seba adekan echitake hoda at some point harmenge issues thing align watanon echitake negunima. At least we've achieved half of what we came, and then we've leveled up. We are in a better place now than we started. Inge ekamako
Yeah.
a compromise, a okay compromise, and that's fine. Inge ekamako where does it stop being a good political compromise, and when does it start becoming a color political deal making that is unacceptable?
It's a very complicated answer, I think, because again, there is no predictability in this Aslo Bodanya. Sometimes really awful sounding things work. Sometimes really good sounding things fail. Me, misalaka. I mean, I lived in India, so I sort of am very familiar with Indian history, and I read history. India was Mihari democracy at them. It's functioning. People are less poor, less starving than before, and there's there are huge challenges in India. There are entire parts of the country where the government can't give services, and there are Kashmir, Kahala, trouble zones, Northeast India. But despite all of that, if you think about it, India has institutions. It has civil society. It has a free media. It has an independent Supreme Court.
But not all of it works to the best. But
democracy
functions.
will never work to the best enemy, but within Misaka, when India was independent, just think about the variety of. It was not one country at any given point. Ingressing as they made it into one thing, but when that time I think there were 500 and something princely states, and
all of that made Hindustan, which was not a connected thing, no.
Yeah, so Ingressing asle eggamaka hedi bavar gaamutang asle anehem bonanja. And over time it has changed variably under several kings and emperors and empires and cultures. India me but they made it work. They created a sort of layer of national identity, and it wasn't done through the most democratic ways. Hyderabad the military they took it forcibly, integrated Goa and Sikkim, and it wasn't done the most democratic way, but in the end they did survive as a country, which is by itself an unimaginably huge victory. Singapore was a democratic they did get results. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes really awful things can have overall net positive social impact again. So I don't know if I'm in a position to sort of say that this will fail or will win, but what I can say is I am morally opposed to deal making with Adib because I have my reasons for that. But maybe this will lead to some positive outcome for society, but it will not lead to a positive outcome for me or the people I know. I can give Mage perspective. There's no way to say if this is where the politics will go from positive to negative. Maybe this is where society improves. Who knows? Maybe Yameen very we don't know. But what we can say is given present gain knowledge and limited me perspective of things that I am opposed to is I don't want Adib to be anywhere other.
No, same. I agree completely.
Yeah, so you need to sort of step back and not be very harsh in the sense that this is completely unacceptable, because history is littered with examples of this.
Do you think Adibuge, wherever that money went, is that money involved in MUO at some point anywhere? That's a big thing that keeps popping up in my head. I don't think if we start talking about that thing, I don't think we should, because we are now at. So we are at plus 1 hour 15 minutes already. Yeah, so let's not talk about that. Right. Okay. Right. So basically, that was a good talk. We went through some of the stuff that happened, but again, what about a branch flag and this? Maybe we'll do. Maybe the more we do this, maybe it gets better.
Discipline.
Yeah, discipline. disciplined one. But I think it's important just to keep that conversation going, that we have a neutral voice out there, that goes through the week events the and it was such a good place to start when someone was actually doing a weekly roundup. So that, we'll do this whole, hopefully, if you don't mind, we should do the whole daily panic, the weekly
Ikaw maganda dem
series.
faharudak kampe wahakata inge secularism din rais Yameen mi husara nurakka.
Okay,
Just kidding. We always talk about that. I think. Komme wahaka dekke se hisabat daane oto.
They all keep coming up because these all key issues that we
everything ties in with this. I think we might as well be those ones.
I think we just volunteered.
Yeah, let's see.
I wonder how this will turn out. What we are doing.
But before we wind up, have you seen that map the Nufashe group?
Yeah.
That was so scary but I mean, I wasn't super surprised like that is not covered with pins, which is so if you are a female and you're in Male and you want to not be harassed, there is there is, I think, the MPL ke port sarhad dekane kanne baki ne evese tatere eta gate java na te kodaka anghenanu deveti kanne, but this is unacceptable.
That's just like, come on, we are not okay with mivara mihuna for shaking mark jaha ane unnaka.
It's not one guy doing all of this clearly.
No, definitely. Pop mitana vela vetana gosa pashila this is rampantly happening in every street corner, everywhere, all over Mali.
Ikaw mi ba kenu dakke kalara biranjaha ngulongala. Ene fenone make Facebook post.
Because ekala me blinders in nan.
Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was a very powerful image.
No, me hafta kankam utere tashuno kore in muhimma kamaka wane wagano dakke.
Because I'm really impressed by this Nufashe campaign. I've been following them for some time
on
Twitter.
I have reached out to her. Adi jawab another gamer, and I do want to have a conversation with her just to get her perspective.
Yeah. It's just that's faceless and it's like I mean, I don't harass people, but even I cringe sometimes by the experiences these people, a lot of girls, everyday girls, go through and I have all my friends who are girls experience the same thing. They compare me map fenonima visually the me fenonima wagotedda. It's just holy fuck. Sorry, I'm not going to swear on YouTube. People are going to watch.
Okay, we'll try not to do it. If you ever slip up, the whole thing is for adults anyways. That's because we want to present the most authentic conversations we've edited. Excel edit
Yes.
All right. So I'll come back onto this with you when your next episode and a roundup comes, and then we'll do another one.
I try to do this every Saturday. Writing discipline Sunday. Sorry. Start then come Sunday ko sama kitamme busy me. I try to just write it. I force myself as a writer to do this. Discipline. I think I only dropped 1 week so far. Thank God. So far I've been doing okay. And then the audience is able to grow. Just like your
How's your traffic? How's your traffic now?
It's I was coming to that. This video series is actually quite new. Even when I started the weekly roundup, the format was new, and I sort of, if you've been writing for a long time, you sort of know what works and what is going to be confusing. And I sort of knew in the beginning people would be like, me coaching head, or like, but I think it's just grown, and even I'm sort of finding my groove, sort of like I sort of know what works. So now it's actually quite increased a lot. I don't really know. It went from almost nothing to. They did like a Facebook boost could get me. It was a spike. But yeah, it's actually growing a lot. I mean, it's miharable. I'm finding a rhythm there though. Like, I write.
People are excited. I'm featured in Daily Panic.
It's just being funny.
Yeah, I know. All right,
It's
cool.
like the bigger that my blog. Yeah, okay. Let's wind
So
down.
I'll see you next week. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Right. Bye. Bye.